Hello, my dear students. Today we shall study about the public facilities, transport, road, electricity, water, sanitation, health facility, education. All those things are public facilities. These all things are important for human life. That's why we need to study about them. There is a story of the water in Chennai. Last year, I think you all have heard about day zero in Chennai. There was no water in Chennai. It means that water uh, is essential part of life and it has become zero in there. So we need to visualize, we need to understand that who will provide these public facilities and how will this problem will be tackled. So Amu and Kumar, though two people were there and they were traveling through Chennai by a bus and they saw there some things. There was a area. There was some areas in Chennai. The first was Anna Nagar. Anna Nagar was posh area as like civil lines of most of the cities where Ram Gopal used to live. And in Anna Nagar, there is lots of water facilities. They get water for the whole day. And if there is no water, then Ram Gopal called to any uh, officer and they provide water tanker over there. So they have water for the washing of cars, their trees, and their other facilities also. There is another area that is set up it where they get water once in a day, and they not get adequate water for the cleaning and washing. They have to depend on another things for the water, as like they have to go to the wells and pump set where they get brackish water that is not usable, that is not safe to drink. The next area is Madipakkam, where Shiva used to live. He used to live in a rented room, and he get water once in 2 days. For other users, he have to depend on water which he have to buy from the market. That's why he is not bringing his family to the Chennai because he have to pay a lot for the water. The next area is Melapur. This is the slum area of this of the Chennai, and here for every 30 family there is a null, common null, where they get water. Water comes only for 20 minutes in that null, and they have to get only the three water and three bucket of water, and they are facing lots of problem water related to water, and that water is also not very safe. So water is a part of fundamental right to life, because we know that article 21 of constitution allows us fundamental right elaborate gives us fundamental right. You have studied from in the chapter 1 and 2. Article 21 says that everybody have right to life, and in right to life we get right to water, right to air, right to pollution free environment, and so many things. So as you know that water is essential for life, that's why water also comes under article 21. So, in other words, we can say that there should be universal access to water. It means that everybody should be able to get water. Not only water, it should be safe. Safe drinking water should be there. Otherwise, everybody is getting water, but the water is not very clean. That is the problem. The next is public facilities. Public facilities, as I have elaborated earlier, that all these things, healthcare, sanitation, electricity, public transport, schools and colleges, these all things are public facilities which are necessary for human life. Now the question is that who will provide these facilities, these public facilities, private companies or government? There is a question. Now I am giving you the homework that try to understand that privatization, try to elaborate if the privatization is good or not, if there should be water privatization or not. I will, you can give comment also for that. So why the government only the government must bear this responsibility? As you know, there is lots of other uh, private companies who are engaged in providing facilities as like education. In education you can see lots of private schools are there. In health facilities, so many private schools are also there. In cities you can see that some private companies are providing water in bottles, in big bottles and small bottles. It means that they are providing public facility, but they are taking lots of money. And if these necessities will be provided by private sector, then they will ask for lots of money, which poor people will not be able to pay. That's why there is the concern, that's why there is demand that the government should provide these facilities. The government's role, the right to life of the to the Constitution guarantees is for all persons living in this country. The responsibility to provide public facility therefore must be that of government. As you know, government's role is the welfare of citizen. So welfare of the citizen is to provide them necessities of the life, all the basic necessities of the life, as like public facilities. And public facilities relate to basic needs. That's why it should be provided. Where does the government get money? Now the question is that where does government get the money? You know, the way the government get the money is tax. Taxes are two types. Direct tax and indirect tax, which some people pay individually. Taxes that are direct and indirect, everybody is the taxpayer, you know. Here, people have pointed out that this massive expenditure could have been here. It has been given that the government has spent lot on the buses and uh, metro also. They could improve the bus facility so that they could be and they could uh, save some money from investing these metro on and other facilities. अगर वो बस बहुत बढ़िया सिस्टम कर दिए होते, बस में ही इम्प्रूवमेंट कर दिए होते, तो उन्हें इस मेट्रो में खर्च करने की ज़रूरत ना पड़ती। इस तरीके से लोगों ने क्या कहा, लोगों ने कहा कि बहुत सारा एक्सपेंडिचर से क्या हो सकता है, वो अगर वो बहुत सारे एक्सपेंडिचर को बचाया जा सकता था अगर बस पब्लिक बस सिस्टम को और अच्छा कर दिया जाता। वुड यू एग्री? व्हाट डू यू थिंक कुड बी द सोल्यूशन फॉर अदर रीजन ऑफ इंडिया? जो भारत के अदर पार्ट है उनके लिए भी क्या हो सकता है? क्योंकि आप जानते हैं कि मेट्रो सिचुएशन सिर्फ और सिर्फ मेट्रो की व्यवस्था सिर्फ दिल्ली और कोलकाता और सब कुछ बड़े शहरों में जैसे कि मुंबई और चेन्नई, इन सभी में ही दिया गया है। अब कुछ और शहरों में आने लगा है, सब में नहीं। मुंबई सब अर्बन रेलवे, यू नो, मुंबई लोकल सब अर्बन रेलवे फंक्शनिंग पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट सिस्टम, इट इज़ द डेंजरेस्ट रूट इन द वर्ल्ड। दुनिया में सबसे ज़्यादा भीड़ जो है मुंबई की लोकल में रहती है। अटेंडिंग टू 65 लाख पैसेंजर्स डेली, 65 लाख लोगों को डेली ले जा रहा है। एक्सटेंडिंग ओवर अ डिस्टेंस ऑफ 300 किलोमीटर, दीज लोकल ट्रेन अलाउ पीपल लिविंग फार अवे। मुंबई से 300-200 किलोमीटर के दूर रहकर भी आप मुंबई में जॉब कर सकते हैं इस लोकल ट्रेन की वजह से। लोकल ट्रेन का सबसे बड़ा प्रॉफिट ये है और उसमें पैसा भी बहुत कम लगता है। Extending sanitation facilities, you know, sanitation facilities provide people clean environment, because if the sanitation facility will be there, uh, all the pollution will be in will be treated, and that's why there will not be pollution. Extending sanitation facilities, 60% of the household in India have access to drinking water and 36% have access to sanitation. The problem is very big. अभी भी देखिए ओनली 68% हाउस होल्ड के पास में पीने की अच्छी व्यवस्था है, और उसमें भी और बुरी व्यवस्था क्या है कि केवल 36% के पास में टॉयलेट फैसिलिटी है। इतना बड़ा देश और सिर्फ 36% के पास क्या है? टॉयलेट फैसिलिटी इन द premises of their residence. So to tackle this problem, some people has done very good work in that NGO, that is Sulabh. Sulabh is the NGO, non-government organization. It has provided and tackled this problem massively. आप देखते हैं भारत के हर एक शहर में, हर एक कस्बे में, दूर दूर में एक सुलभ कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाया गया है। सुलभ कॉम्प्लेक्स जो क्या करता है, जो लोगों को टॉयलेट करने की सुविधा प्रोवाइड करता है, और यह बहुत लो कॉस्ट में करता है। तो इसने क्या किया है, भारत की इस बहुत बड़े प्रॉब्लम को टैकल किया है, बहुत बड़े प्रॉब्लम को खत्म किया, एड्रेस किया है। It has constructed more than 7,500 public toilet blocks and 1.2 million private toilets, giving access to sanitation to 10 million people. 10 मिलियन अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 1 करोड़ पीपल को यह प्रोवाइड करता है। हर एक झुग्गी झोपड़ी के पास में उन्होंने एक टॉयलेट बना दिया, सुलभ कॉम्प्लेक्स। वहाँ पर लोग मंथली पे करते हैं और बहुत ही नॉमिनल, बहुत लो कॉस्ट में पे करके लोग अपनी इन फैसिलिटीज़ का उपयोग कर लेते हैं, और इसके जरिए बहुत सारी सफाई भी मिल जाती है। Census of India 2001 puts rural household electrification at 44%, leaving around 78 million households still in the dark. What is the problem? 78 million household, 78 million household are still in the dark. They are living in dark situation. This is the big problem. Only 44% household is electrified. केवल 44% जो है लोगों को इलेक्ट्रीफाई किया गया। 2001 में और बढ़ाया गया, उससे पहले भी थे, मगर आज भी 78 मिलियन लोग जो है वो रह रहे हैं। कंक्लूजन, व्हाट इज द कंक्लूजन नाउ? That public facilities relate to our basic needs, and Indian Constitution recognize the right to water, health, education, etc. as being a part of the right to life. These all things are, all the public facilities are the right to life. It means that we all have right to get all these facilities, but progress on this front has been far from satisfactory. You can see that the progress is very low. Nobody is getting adequate water, and neither education, electricity, and sanitation, all the problem is prevailing in our society. So now there is need to provide these facilities and tackle these problems. Any solution need to take account of the important fact that every citizen of the country has a right to these facilities, which should be provided to him in an equitable manner. It means that everybody should have equal distribution. There should be universal access of public facilities. So my dear students, I would like to say you that please try to understand the scenario and try to understand this topic, and comment about this if you have any problem. Thank you very much.